Hi dear students, happy to get back to you again to get you introduced to our second chapter in which we are going to learn about MS Excel as a spreadsheet package. So in the previous session we had learned as part of the first lesson about operating system and its various functions with a special focus upon the Windows operating system. And this MS Excel is also a package that comes as part of the MS Office package. Alright, so as part of the Office package there are also other programs about which you are already familiar like MS Word, MS Excel of course, and MS PowerPoint and MS Access. And here we are going to have our focus, special focus on MS Excel, which is a spreadsheet package which is mainly used for solving various mathematical and financial problems. Alright, so this is actually a spreadsheet package is actually used. So just for replacing our old tradition of using the mathematics with the paper and the pencil, so that can be replaced with the help of a spreadsheet. Okay, so that is MS Excel as a spreadsheet package. Now first of all, let us just get ourselves familiar with the various components of the MS Excel screen. Alright, so before getting into the various components of the MS Excel screen, we must understand that when we save a file in MS Excel, it is saved as a workbook. And each workbook contains so many worksheets about which we will get familiar sooner. Alright, so and also the components of an MS Excel is little bit slightly different when compared to the components of MS Word. So because MS Word is mainly used for creating documents, whereas MS Excel is used for creating workbooks in which various mathematical problems can be solved. Alright, now let us first of all, let us get back to get us introduced to the various components of the MS Excel screen. So here we have the title bar, and this is the ribbon in which we can see the various icons that are used for various tasks, and these are called worksheets. So normally by default 3 sheets are provided and 3 worksheets are given, and it is in the worksheet actually our task is being done. Okay, so and also as part of the worksheet you can see so many columns as well as rows. So many rows and columns are there, and a combination of these rows and column is called a cell. And each cell has got a cell address. And you must understand that each cell has got a cell address. In this case, this particular cell, the address of this cell is G5. So which is a combination of the column and row values. Alright, the column and row values are used for giving a name for the cell, and each cell has its own unique cell address. Alright, so similarly, so this cell, the address of this cell will be D3, so which is found in the name box. And also another component which you must get familiar is the formula bar, in which whenever we type a formula, so the formula appears in the formula bar, and if formula is not there, even the contents of the cell itself will appear as part of the formula bar. Alright, and as part of the ribbon there are so many tabs which are available like home tab, insert tab, page layout tab, formulas. Of course this will be discussed later, and the data tab in which the various database applications can be performed, and then there is a review tab and a view tab. Alright. Yes. So these are the various tabs which are available. At the bottom side you can see the various sheet numbers. So sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. Okay, normally 3 worksheets are given by default, and it is possible to add or delete any number of sheets according to as per our requirements. And it is also possible to rename any sheet for our purpose. And then if you don't want another sheet which is in your workbook, it is also possible to delete a workbook also. And suppose you just wanted to delete some workbook, it is possible. At the same time, it is also possible to add a new workbook. Okay. So it is also possible that new workbook can be added. So various workbook can be added or deleted or renamed as per your choice. So that depends upon our requirements. Sometimes we might just need only one workbook, one worksheet, whereas in some other cases more worksheets are required and it can be added, deleted or modified as per our request. Right. Now, let us get ourselves familiar with this cell, and you are already familiar with the cell and the cell address. As we have already heard, each cell has got a unique address and the address of the cell will appear in the name box. At the same time, so you must also get yourself familiar with the term a range of cells. Normally, just like a cell is selected, and when a cell is selected, it is called the active cell. Alright? So whenever a cell is selected, now D6 is the active cell. So now whatever we type, so that comes as part of the active cell. Alright? So if you wanted to type anything to a cell, if you wanted to enter any data into a cell, so it is necessary that you must make that particular cell as the active cell. Afterwards, the data can be entered. Alright? So that is how it works. Now that is about the cells, whereas a range of cells refers to a group of adjacent cells that can be used. See, this is a range of cells. And this range, just like a cell has got a cell address, a range of cells has also got an address, and this is how the address can be given. Like the beginning cell is C2 and the ending cell this is H6. So C2 to H6, and that is how this cell range can be defined. Alright, so the cell range can be defined from C2 to H6. This is how a range of cells also can be defined. Fine. Now, regarding the cell references, and normally before getting back into the cell references for which we are going to use the cell addresses as well as the addresses of the range of cells. So for this one, first you must get yourself familiar how to enter a formula or a function into our worksheets. Alright, for doing many of the calculations, so we will be using different types of formulas. At present, now we are just going to see a simple example in which a group of numbers can be added using a formula in a worksheet. Alright, so let us get back to this example, and after the example we will be learning about the various types of cell references. Right, get ready for that. Now let us take it, we will make it a little more easier for you. So we are going to have some numbers here added. Yes, and in this area here also we are going to have some numbers. Yes, so these are the two sets of numbers that we are going to use. Okay. Now to this cell we are going to add these numbers like 10 plus 1. So here 11 is the result that is expected, but instead of adding the numbers directly, we are going to use the cell address. The cell address is going to be used for creating a formula with which we will be able to add these numbers. See how it can be done. Each formula or function begins with a semicolon, an equal to sign. Therefore, so it can be added this form C2 plus D2. Alright, this is C2 plus D2, and this is actually a formula with the relative cell reference about which we will have our discussion shortly. See, when we after typing the formula to add these two numbers, and when you press the enter key on the keyboard, So automatically the result appears. And here we are supposed to write C3 plus D3. So definitely we will get 22. But instead of doing that, it is possible that a formula from one cell can be copied to another cell. So that is, this is called the fill handle. Using this fill handle, see how the cursor changes to the shape of a cross. So that time just click it and drag, and definitely drag this formula. The formula which is entered in the first cell will be copied to the other cells using the relative cell reference. So which means that according to the other cells, the formula values also will change. Let's see how it works. See, as you release the mouse button, definitely the other values are also appearing here. Okay, so this kind of reference is called relative cell reference, for which we will learn. Okay, this is called relative cell reference. See how here it is C2 and D2 in the formula bar, whereas when it comes to the next cell, it becomes automatically C3 and D3. Okay, and here C4 and D4, and similarly in all the cells, in all the adjacent cells, the formula values, formula cell addresses also changes. Since the formula here which is applied here is using the relative cell reference. Okay. Now, we were just about to have our discussion about the cell references, and mainly there are three types of cell references that can be used in MS Excel. And the first one is the relative cell reference, about which we are already familiar, but you will have a clear-cut understanding about this relative cell reference when you learn about the other two also. And that is fixed cell reference is there, also mixed cell reference is also there. Okay, relative cell reference, absolute cell reference, and mixed cell reference. So these are the three types of cell references that are provided by MS Excel to facilitate the use of formulas and functions as part of a workbook. Now, let us see what do you understand by the absolute cell reference. As part of an absolute cell reference, in a relative cell reference, you can see, as you have seen, on both sides in a formula, there were both two cell addresses were there. Alright, all the two sides cell addresses used to change in a relative cell reference. Whereas in an absolute cell reference is a place where we wanted certain values to be fixed. Alright, so we want certain values, the address, the value of certain cell as a constant which should be used exactly as it is even in the other cells, then the absolute cell reference can be used. Okay, so that can be used. Whereas in a mixed cell reference, it is a combination of relative as well as absolute cell references. Okay, so that is the difference mainly. So the main three types of references that can be cell references that can be applied. I hope you understand what is meant by cell reference. Cell reference means referring to a particular cell or using the address of the cell which is unique and which is also a combination of row value as well as the column value. Alright, so that is it. Now we are going to learn about the absolute cell reference as well as the mixed cell reference using the example. Follow this example closely. Now, see, this was called the relative cell reference. Relative cell reference. And now we are going to see how this absolute cell reference is going to take place. And definitely there is a mixed cell reference also. In a relative cell reference, definitely as we have seen, the values on both sides used to change from C3, C4, D4, C5 and D. Now in an absolute cell reference we will see, instead of changing the value, this is how an absolute cell reference can be created. Instead of just typing C2 and D2, we will be using the dollar sign for that. $C, $2 plus $D, $2. That's how. See, in the first value it is same. So this is how we can create an absolute cell reference. See, this is how, using the dollar symbol, we will be able to create an absolute cell reference, and in the first column it is exactly as the value of C2 and D2, the sum of C2 and D2. Now let us see what happens when a formula using an absolute cell reference is copied to other cells. See, but everywhere it becomes fixed. See, an absolute cell reference never changes. Here, from C2 and D2 change into C3 and D3, whereas in an absolute cell reference, everywhere it does not change. See the difference. Everywhere it is C2 and D2. It doesn't change at all. That's the difference mainly it happens. Whereas in a mixed cell reference, it is a combination of relative as well as absolute cell reference. Now let us take it. So we will create a mixed reference here equal to C2 plus. Now the next part we are going to D2 is going to be made an absolute cell reference. Okay. See how? This is how an absolute cell reference can be made. See? C2 plus $D $2. Alright. Here also, the first value is same, since the value of C2 will change, whereas the value of D2, which is 1 here, it will be exactly as it is, which will be used as a constant value in all the other formulas. Now let us see what happens. Before that, let us make a prediction. So here, the values are going to be added. When it comes to be here, it is supposed to be C2 and D2, but instead of that, since here D2 is used as an absolute reference, therefore C3 will be added with not with D3, but again with D2 only. That is with 1. So here it is supposed to be 21, 31, 41 and 51. Let's see how it works in a mixed reference. See, this is how it happens. Alright. Now, see the difference? C3 is being changed, the relative cell reference is being changed, whereas the absolute cell reference remains intact, exactly as it is. See the D2. Only the other cell ranges, which is relative, is being changed, whereas the other things are all intact. This is how the various cell references can be applied. This is how various cell references can be created using this technique of using these three relative, absolute and mixed cell references. Got it? So that is what about cell references is all about. So I hope that part is clear to you. So mainly there are three types of cell references that are applied. The relative cell reference, in which all the values will change as the formulas are copied, and then there is absolute cell reference where the values remain constant throughout the formulas wherever it is copied, and then there is a mixed cell reference which is a combination of relative cell reference as well as absolute cell reference. Got it? Yes. Now, other than these formulas, it is also possible to use certain functions. Certain functions can be also used as part of the formula. This is the demo, and we will take another workbook to understand how these functions can be applied. So, as part of this workbook, we will just add a few more combinations of numbers will be added. Alright, so these numbers are added. Suppose this range of this cell remains D2 to D6. So this is actually a combination of this cell D2 to D3. Okay. Now there are various functions that can be used here. We will examine each of the functions in detail. First of all, we are going to learn the sum function. And this is how the sum function, and don't forget our combination of values here will be from D2 to D6. So that is our combination. Alright. So equal to, this is how each function also starts with an equal to sign. Sum of D2 to D6. Okay. So definitely the sum of these numbers will appear. Yes. So that is the sum of all these numbers here. This is how you can very easily create a function. See how the function was created. So sum and the range of cells, as we have already learned in the previous case. So a range of cell also can be named using the first cell as well as the last cell, the combination D2 to D6. So this is our cell range in this case. So that cell range, the sum of that cell range is being displayed here. Okay. Now the next function that you must learn is a max function is also available. Max function. And this can be achieved through max. So definitely a cell range must be provided D2 to D6. So definitely the maximum value is going to be 50 here. Then there is a min function in the same way. Min function also can be created in the same way by providing the cell values D2 colon D6. Okay. Then there is an average function equal to average of D2 to D6. So definitely it will provide the average of these three functions. Maybe you can keep guessing, that is 30. So average of, so that is 150 divided by 5. So that is how the average is calculated. The total sum divided by the number of cells. Alright. So that is how the average of these values in this cell is identified as the average value. And then there is also the count value is also available. A count function is available that is mainly used for counting the total number of data entries within a cell range. Okay, equal to count of, let us try this combination from D1 to D6. So normally we were giving from D6, but from D1 to D6, actually there are 6 cells which are available, but now let us see, but only on 5 values are available. Now try adding, see why? Because even if there are 6 cells from D1 to D6, only in 5 cells the data is entered. Now let us try it out. Let us try deleting this one. Definitely the count becomes 4. Alright. Now it becomes 5 again. Now let us suppose we are adding another value here. Definitely the count becomes 6. But the other values remain same because the range is given from D2 only in other same ranges. But whereas for the count function we gave the formula as D1 to D6. Therefore among these cells there are 6 cells in which the data is entered. Now there are only 5 cells in which the data is entered, and now this is it. So definitely when the value changes also, the other results also will get changed. That's how a function can be very effectively used as part of a Excel worksheet. But yes. Now this is it. Now we will just see as using this function. You are already familiar for using a formula as well as for using a function. So for doing any of the calculations which are necessary for our task, so it is possible to use a formula or even a function according to our preferences and convenience. Okay. In our next example, we are going to see how a simple mark list can be created by using these functions by calculating the percentage. Alright. So we will be adding the total as well as we will be finding the percentage. A mark list of simple 5 students with 5 records. Alright. So we will be seeing that as part of an example. Definitely based on that mark list, as part of the last session of this chapter, you will be also learning how to create a chart. And we will be also creating a special chart using that mark list. And that our next example will also use all the other various concepts that we have learned in the previous cases, like using a function, using formulas. Alright, so and this example will be used for creating a chart also. Good. So listen properly for the next example. Right. Now we are going to create a new worksheet. A new worksheet will be created and we can rename it as mark sheet. So we have renamed this worksheet as a mark sheet itself. So for our convenience, we will just increase the font size a little bit. So definitely, so this is how a mark list can be created. So our first part will be name. It is possible to increase or decrease the size. We will be using only the marks of 3 subjects. Maths. Now we will have a value for total and percentage. But these are the values. So let us see. We will just use only 5 records for our purpose. Let's just get it done. Now we'll just select some random name. Yes, so a few names are given, and now we are going to have the marks also for this various subject. So let us assume that the marks are out of 100. Yes, now we will go for the marks of Hindi. Yes, so the various, now we will go for the marks, entering the marks of maths also. Yes, so these are the various marks which are added. Now our task is to find the total marks for each of the students, and definitely we can add these marks in 2 different ways. One is by using B2 plus C2 plus D2. Let's see, B2 plus C2 plus D2. This way also we will get the marks. But this formula is used here only because only 3 values are to be added. But suppose there are large volume of data to be added, like a range or a combination of 10 or 13, 15 subjects. In that case, always the best option will be to use a function instead of a formula. Okay, so we are going to use that technique itself here, using the sum function, that is B2 colon D2. Alright, this is how a cell reference can be added using this function sum, and press the enter key, automatically you get the result there. Got it? So the same function can be copied to the other cell, because since it is a relative cell reference that is applied here, so definitely the values will change accordingly and the total of the values also will be found. And now we will be able to find the percentage, we will be able to find the percentage of this result as well. So definitely the percentage will be based upon the total. We can use, so total is in E2. So the star symbol is used for multiplication into 100 divided by 300, assuming that all the three subjects are out of 300. So definitely this is the percentage which is applied. And this percentage can be copied also using this formula. Now we can see in some cases there are decimal values and in some other cases these values are not there. So that can be increased. See, increasing the decimal values can be there. You can increase or decrease the decimal values according to our choice. Alright, with 3 decimal points or 2 decimal points, it doesn't matter. So that can be adjusted from here. So that is a possibility. Alright, so this is how a simple mark list can be created using formula as well as functions. Got it? For the addition we used a function, and for calculating the percentage we used a special formula here. Got it? That is how the percentage of each student can be analyzed. Just have a final look at this. Mark list in which the various marks are added. Right? Now we are going to see how a chart can be prepared using this mark list or any other data which is entered or prepared. Alright, so Excel provides a very easy method for the creation of charts of different types as well, and also it is very easy to change one chart type into another also. Just we are about to see. Alright, so first of all now we will see how a bar chart can be created using this mark sheets which we have created using this Excel work. Okay, now just watch closely. See, first of all, for the creation of any chart, it is necessary that a initial database is to be created, and this database is to be selected. After selecting the database, you can click on the Insert tab, in which the options for the creation of various charts are available. First of all, let's create a column chart. A column chart can be created here. So this is how, just creating a column chart. See, this is how. And the color combinations are given accordingly. Okay, so the values are also given accordingly. And either the chart can be created on the same sheet, or it is also possible that the chart can be changed to another place. See, change the chart type is there, or move chart option is also there when you right click. Now let us see move chart as a new sheet. Okay, so new sheet and click OK. Definitely a new sheet will be added like chart 1, and the whole chart will be displayed as part of a new sheet, and the mark sheet will remain exactly as it is. Got it? So here this is how a chart can be created in a very simple form. And now the marks of various students in various subjects are given accordingly. And now again this chart can be moved to another place also. Now this chart can be moved as an object in class 8 demo, or even in demo cases in mark sheet also it can be added. See, now again it is added as an object. Now see the difference. Now let us see the total marks of each student. Let's say that Ajay, he is the first one. Now let us try to change the value of any other place. Now let us try to see the difference how it appears in the chart also. See, so definitely this is the value which is given for Victor. Alright, so the second last one, and definitely so the values are changed. And definitely when it is also changed, see how it happens. how it gets affected in the total and percentage also. And here even the value of this match. So if you change, definitely that also gets affected here. See how the changes takes place. Got it? Yes. That is how the various values can be changed. Again, it can be increased as well. Definitely the changes will take place accordingly. And definitely furthermore also it can be done. See. Now, as you change the values in the database, definitely that change will get affected in your chart as well. Now, let us get this chart again back. We will create another symbol chart for the purpose. We are going to create a new sheet in which, okay, this can be renamed. So, this new sheet will create a chart for a sales report. Okay. So, for a particular company, the sales made by the company in various months. Okay. So, definitely the month is going to be here and sales will be in this side. So, we are just going to select only few cells here, few months. We will just increase the font size as well. Yes. The month is going to be January. See, there is a fill handle in which it can be very easily used for preparing the months. You don't have to type all the months again. Now, the sales made by the company in the various months. So, let us say the sales made by the company in the month of January, it was 1,50,000, whereas in the month of February it got 2,30,000, and for March again 80, and the month of March and again in the month of May so these are the various sales, the sales made by a company in the various months. So definitely that can be created. Okay. Yes. Now this is the same. Based on this one, we are going to create a chart. For that one, just create the data that is to be made. Then first of all, select the database properly. After which, click the insert button and select the type of the chart that you wanted to create. So earlier we were creating a column chart. This time, even a different type of a bar chart can be created. So we will try to create a bar chart here. See, this is how a bar chart can be created. So for the month of May, see, this is how it can be. Now let us see if this bar chart is also change the chart type. See, this chart type can be changed to a column chart as well. A bar chart can be very easily converted to a column chart also. See, this is how a bar chart is converted to a column chart according to our convenience. Now, it is also possible to design this chart in various forms, either to increase the size of the chart can be increased or decreased as per our requirement and choice. Otherwise, you can also use this, just right click on this one and move chart option can be used for using this chart on a new worksheet. That is also a possibility. And then otherwise, it is also possible to design a chart like a format chart area. So there, no fill, solid fill, see, the various fills also can be, gradient fills can be used, see, so different fills can be applied. Now here also, format plot area, this is called the chart area and this is going to be the plot area, in which we will try to use another type of predefined picture or gradient fill can be used. So a texture can be applied here. Yes. Now this is how, see, this is the plot area and this is the chart area. And these are called the series. So the series also can be formatted. Data series also can be formatted and it can be filled with picture or texture fill. See, it is possible. See how it can be filled differently. Now that is how a chart can be designed as per our choice. Got it? This is how a chart can be created and it can be formatted as per our choice. Now see the difference how this chart changes. Suppose the value in this chart is changed. See the difference. As soon as you press the enter key, definitely the chart, the effect is also found in the chart. And just you add just 1 0 again and again, now the result becomes changed. The chart can be changed as per our requirement. Alright, that's how a chart can be created according to our choice. This was actually our second chapter all about. So the creation of a chart as well. So as part of this second chapter, so we have seen, first of all, we got ourselves introduced to the use of a spreadsheet through MS Excel, and we have seen the various components of the MS Excel, as well as we got familiarized with the various components with a workbook as well as with a worksheet, and also we got familiarized with the cell address and also cell ranges, and cell ranges can be selected and even named. And then we learned about the various cell references, in which we learned about the 3 types of cell references: relative cell reference, absolute cell reference, and mixed cell references. And then we have already learned through our examples of that mark sheets, so how to use these relative and absolute and mixed cell references. Definitely, so these references change. After which we have also learned how to create a chart based upon a database that we have learned. Alright, so there will be few assignments, so keep checking our website for your summer assignments as well. So this is our chapter 2 all about. So stay home, stay safe.